In this video, I'm going to show you how to write an ebook using AI. You know an ebook can help you make more money, make more leads, but something's holding you back. You're struggling to find the time to create your ebook, even though you know it could be a great way to bring people onto your list. So what can you do? Use AI, of course. Today I'm going to show you how to create your outline in minutes with the help of AI. Now this might be controversial, but I'm telling you, you can do this better with AI than with any human. Next, I'll show you how to generate content for each chapter quickly and easily without worrying that you're just pulling from the machine and not actually coming from your thoughts, or that somebody else might have this exact same content that you do. Third, you're going to discover how to edit and polish your content so that it's high quality and people actually enjoy reading the ebook. And finally, I'm going to show you how to make the most out of this ebook with using AI, of course. First, let's talk about using AI to outline your ebook. Head to ChatGPT or Claude, and you're going to tell it a few things. Step one, you're going to tell it who your audience is. Who is this ebook for? This is a really important step because if you miss this step, it could write it for a completely different audience and it's going to hit differently. The second thing you're going to put in is information about your brand voice. So how do you sound? How do you talk about your audience? How do you talk to your audience? Are there any words you do and don't use? Is there any pillar content that you want to have in here? This is all really important so that it's creating an ebook that is specific to you and your audience, not just the run-of-the-mill stuff that you see everybody and their brother making with ChatGPT. We really want you to stand out so that you're seen as the authority and not as somebody that's just trying to make a quick buck. The third thing, you're gonna tell it the content or the topic idea that you want to cover. And fourth, we're gonna tell it, is there anything you want to avoid in this book? If so, go ahead and put it in there. After you've given it that information, you're gonna ask it to create an outline for the book for you. You can even say, I want it to be about 60 pages, 100 pages, about how long you want it to be. Now, my personal preference and my suggestion is to make it something really, really specific. You don't need to be writing a 200-page book right now because guess what? Not many people are actually going to read that. If you want people to read it, make it shorter. We know that people's attention spans keep getting lower and lower and lower. So get really specific about one niche topic or one subtopic even that you can cover in this ebook. We want to make it really clear why someone would get this, and so we want to solve one specific problem with this ebook. So now you have your outline. How do we actually generate the content for each chapter and make sure that it's actually your content and not just something that's being pulled from the model? Well, you have the outline, right? And you already have all the information all up in your head. So what are we gonna do? You're gonna sit down at your computer and open up ChatGPT or Claude. You're going to type in your information, type in your thoughts, your responses to each part of the outline. We don't need it to be perfect. Really, all you need to do is write down your notes. AI can handle the rest. Or if you're like me and you're an external processor, maybe you don't want to sit down and write. I can't tell you how much I don't want to be behind my computer, especially on a beautiful summer day. I want to be outside in the sun, relaxing. But you want to get this done too, right? And you might be wondering, how do I actually put it in there? Do I have to have it structured? Does it have to be step by step? Or can I just word vomit it all in there? That's exactly what you can do. You can put just word vomit it all in there. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to even be organized. You're literally just sharing your thoughts on it. Just blast it all in there. That's also one of the benefits of using AI to help create an ebook instead of working with a human. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work with ghostwriters. I'm not saying you shouldn't work with humans, but I'm saying if you are struggling with time and you want to get this done as quickly as possible, you already have the information. If time is the thing that is the issue for you, or money is the thing that's the issue for you, use AI to help you really fast track that. Now that you've word vomited everything onto the page, the next thing that you're gonna do is add the prompt. You're gonna say, I'm gonna give you my responses to this outline and my thoughts on the content from this outline. Then I want you to clean up what I've said and turn it into an actual chapter. Now we're gonna go chapter by chapter. If you try to do more than that at once, sometimes it gets a little bit messy and it doesn't produce as good of content as it would otherwise. So chapter by chapter is how we want to go. After you've entered the prompt, you put in the feedback, you put in your content ideas, your content thoughts, your brainstorming, your word vomiting, you're going to press enter. And that's where it's going to do the magic. It's going to start to clean it up and create a chapter outline for you based on what you've said, but without the grammatical errors, without the confusion, without the popping from one place to another. It's going to really streamline it for you and make it into a solid chapter. It's based on your ideas. Everything's from up here, but it's going to sound much better than you just word vomiting it. Speaking of word vomiting it, if you are somebody that really likes to say things out loud like I do, what you'll do is grab your phone and you're going to go to the mobile app. When you're in the mobile app, you're going to press the headphones that are in the bottom right, and you're going to say your thoughts about the outline out loud. This is really great, especially if you're low on time, because you can do it wherever you're at. If you're on the walk, if you're at the park, if you're in the mall, if you're in line for lunch, whatever it is, if you're on the go, you can be doing this and just putting out all your ideas, kind of like a brainstorm session or a brain dump. And then you're gonna do that for the rest of the chapters. By the end of an hour, you could have your entire book pretty much written. Now the next thing we're gonna do is give feedback. So between each chapter, we wanna be giving feedback of what we like and don't like. The reason we do it between each chapter is because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself giving the same feedback again and again and again at the end of it. I wanna save you time. I'm sure that you want that too. So here's how you'll do it. After you put in your information, you put in your brain dump, you press enter, it's given you the chapter. Now we're gonna go through and give feedback. And for this first chapter, you're probably gonna have to give quite a bit of feedback. That's pretty normal. Just like you would to a ghostwriter, a human team member, I would expect to give somebody feedback on that first chapter, and I would expect to give quite a bit of feedback, honestly, on that first chapter. And that's coming from somebody who is a professional copywriter. I expect a lot of feedback on that first draft. The feedback might look something like this. In this paragraph, you said this, but I actually wouldn't say it this way. I would say it another way. Here's how I would say it instead. So any kind of words or phrases or ways of saying things that is a little bit off or not quite like you, you're gonna tell it that. Now we're gonna avoid most of that by using the transcript. So like, whew, that's good. But there's still gonna be just a little bit of it. There might also be things that you decide you don't wanna cover in that chapter. That's totally fine. You can say, hey, I don't want to cover this after all, take that out. We're not going to talk about that. The next thing you're going to do is ask for feedback. So what have you not covered in the chapter that maybe you need to? And is there any questions that your audience might have, any myths that you need to bust, any objections they might have that's going to keep them from moving on to that next chapter and getting the golden nuggets from your book? That's what we're asking ChatGPT. And when I say ask ChatGPT, we go back to the chat, the same chat we've been in, and I want you to say, now please review the chapter that we just did. Identify any common myths my audience might have, identify any questions they may have, or objections that they may have that we haven't covered yet. List them out for me and give me an idea of what I can talk about on each. You can either do the same thing where you talk it out loud, or you can just write in your answers. From there, it's going to recreate the first chapter, this time with your feedback in it. Now, because we spent some time giving chapter 1 feedback, you're not gonna have to spend as much time giving chapters 2 through however many as much feedback. That's great, saving you time already. So we've talked about how to create the outline, how to create the chapters, how to edit and polish the chapters. Now let's talk about how to get the most out of your ebook. First, you can turn it into other pieces of content. You can do that by taking the content that's already in that chat, putting it into a Google Doc, and then uploading that Google Doc back into ChatGPT so that it's all in one place. It doesn't have all the feedback, it just has a finished, polished version. And you can say, now I want you to create more content from this. Let's start with Facebook posts, or let's start with emails. There's so many other pieces of content that you can do, like Facebook posts, emails, Instagram posts, engagement posts, TikTok scripts, Instagram reels, the list goes on and on. Even blog posts and LinkedIn articles. Again, we want to get the most that we can out of this, especially if this is to be used as a lead magnet. Now, the next thing that you can do is actually launch and sell. Now, I wouldn't recommend selling on Amazon or something like that, but you can set it up in your own merchant page, your own checkout page, and have people buy straight from there. One more thing that you can do with it is turn it into an opportunity for a book club. Why would you want a book club when you already have zero time? Having a book club gives you more small group access to people that are already interested in your topic and potentially interested in working with you. It's almost like getting on a sales call, but you have more than one person there and they want to hear what you have to say next. You can do this by doing a free chapter where they come in, they listen to it, they listen to your thoughts, your ideas about it, how you came up with it, and then they can ask questions. At the end of it, you can pitch something. So maybe that's pitching something like working with you one-on-one, or a group program, or even a mastermind. Giving a chapter of your book away for free and even running ads to that is a great way to bring in more leads who might be interested in coming to the book club and hearing your offer. Now that you know how to write an ebook with AI, it's time to market it. Lucky for you, I have a free gift today. It's called AI to 10K, and it's my workshop that shows you how to make more on your next launch with the help of AI-generated emails, social posts, even a sales page. And because I'm a professional copywriter, it's taken me years to figure out what the best emails are to send during the launch, what the best social posts are to put out, how to write the sales page. And you get all of that knowledge that I already have for free with this workshop, including my templates and prompts. My name is Brittany Long. Click the link that comes with this video to get AI to 10K workshop for free and start marketing and making more money from your ebook.